Hello, and welcome to our product Upkeep solution. Today I will show you how it works, its features and its advantages. First, we will go into the matrices. Here I can click on my matrix, open it, and as you can see, I now have a list of all my elements inside of it. There are element specifications like the type, ID or description. Then you got localization, where is the element located in the building. Then you got state and action. Here is the initial state of the element, so what is it doing before the test. And then you got the action description. So this is for more special cases of elements which cannot be declared by closed or open, for example. Then you got power failure. Does the element work with power failure? Yes or no? And then finally you got test groups, where you can divide various elements to different test groups. Here in color are your alarm devices. So those are always separated in different columns here. So you once have the timing, is the timing direct or delayed, and then you have all the different zones for this alarm device. So for example, here I have different zones which are in my building, and those would be here. A feature I would like to highlight is the import or export of Excel sheets. So I can click here and export this matrix to an Excel sheet. And as you can see, now I have the matrix opened and exported into an Excel. I can do changes here, import the Excel sheet again, and the changes will be applied inside of the program. When I have all my elements in the matrix I can go to the documents and start drawing the zones and elements onto the floor plan. Here I have different shortcuts where I can switch between different tests and documents and matrices. To go back into the start page, I will click here, open up my project and open my floor plan. First thing here, I need to select which matrix will be applied onto the plan, so the program will load all of the zones and elements to this plan. Now, to draw a zone, it's pretty simple. You can click here, add zone. I can select one. I'm going to reduce the capacity here a little bit. And now I can start to draw. I confirm that, and as you can see, now I have my zone drawn, and it's already highlighted here inside of the list. For elements, it's the exact same thing. So I can click here, add element, and open up the list. And I will use a couple of elements here and place them inside of the floor plan. I will do a couple more. And as you can see, now I have drawn all of my elements inside of the floor plan. Now I have drawn all of it, and I can go into the main part, which is the test. Before I can open up a test, I need to do certain things in the program, and that would be freezing my matrix, because I don't want anyone to change it when I'm testing something. So now I'm gonna freeze this version 3 I can give a title here. I'm going to use today's date. And as you can see, now it's frozen and I cannot change version 3 anymore. To open up a test, I can click here, add test. I again give a title to it. That will be today's date. And you can see it automatically chooses version 3 here, which I have recently frozen. So I submit that. And now comes the first important step. Now I have to tell the program what do I want to test. So here I click on my scenario I want to test. I confirm that, and now I can open the test. The first thing I need to do here is to create some participants, to add some participants. A tester, for example. So in this case, I would click on add new participant. I have to give a mail address to every tester or every person which participates in the test. So this will be our info mail address. I'm going to use my colleague here, Mr. Menenga. And now I can give him a role in the test, which would be the tester. Test group is unnamed because we do not have any test groups inside of the matrix. I submit that, and as you can see, now I have created my first tester. The next step would be to create an agenda. So here I can click on edit agenda, add new agenda, and now I can select the duration and the start point of this point. So I can choose here a title. Again, I would use today's date, and then I can choose which scenario do I want to test in this agenda point. I submit that, and now I've already created my first point. And the agenda is visible to all participants in the test, so everyone is up to date. The last step would be to create or to assign the elements to the different participants or to the testers. I will use in this example the 3 doors which I've already pasted into the plan before. You see here I'm gonna assign Mr. Menenga to those 3 elements, but the rest I do not want to test, so I ignore them. As you can see, now I have assigned all the testers to my elements, and now I can start the test. So now we are in the application of Upkeep solution, in the mobile application. Here I will show you how the test works on the mobile phone. The first thing I have to do as a test leader, this is the phone of the test leader, I need to give a task to my tester. So here I will tell them to look for the state before test. I can switch back to the phone of the tester, and now as you can see, he got all his elements which he's got to test. I also can show the tester, or the tester can click on the floor plan itself, and it will show where the element is located with this red dot. So now I can click through my elements, test them, and look for them. And if I want to give back the report to the test leader, I can confirm that. I can switch back to the tester's or test leader's phone. And as you can see, it should now update the status of the elements. You can see it's now finished. So now I can give the permission to test the elements, which would be done here. I click on that. I switch back to the tester's phone. As you can see, now it updated and the test is active. So here I can click into my elements. I can say, yes, is it closed? Yes, it's closed. I can go further and confirm all of these elements. I can give back the report to the test leader, and now he should get an update on the test, which would be the green color up here. See, it's finished. So now as a test leader, I have the results in real time. I can click here on test leader, on my scenario, and as you can see now I've got all my elements which I have tested before, and I got the results here. So now we are back in the program, and I can show you the reports the program generates after the test. You can see here are the test tasks, and down here are my different results of the test. It's possible to change the results after you have tested the elements, but only for the test leader. So in this example, maybe this element didn't work at all, and maybe the result is false. So now I can change that here. If I'm now happy with the results and everything is finished, I can close the test. And now, as you can see, the results are fixed and I cannot change them anymore. I could reopen the test to a later point, but I will not do that today. Now you can see the program generates automatically a defects list. I can export that into an Excel. See, here will be all my defects in the test. I also can generate an automatic test report. I can sort that by agenda and export it by PDF. You can see here I have my participants in the test. I have a test protocol. Also again a defects list, but this time in a PDF and in the test report. And finally I have an overview of my scenario 1.7, which elements did work and which didn't. This was the program Upkeep solution. Thank you very much for your time. If you got any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you.